Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Good evening, my friends. This is Angy Stewart from Mia Inner Light, and we are live here in Kardec Radio, Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to all of you. I'm going to open the chat, so I will start being able to see you. So if you are new to our study, please write something, even hello, because when you do that, I will be able to actually see your name. We are using a different platform, so we are streaming in many places like YouTube, Facebook, so I cannot see your names. But as you are arriving to the study, let me just introduce to the ones that are new. We study for 1 hour. The first half an hour, the first 30 minutes, we study this beautiful book, What is Spiritism? And we are at this moment studying the biography of Allan Kardec by Angy Stewart. It's a beautiful biography, and it gives us this broad understanding of how was Kardec's life, how were all the tribulations that he had to face and to overcome in order to spread Spiritism. So if you are with us for a few weeks, you understand since the beginning with the table turning movements in America, because this movement actually started here in United States, in upstate New York. And then, for many reasons, it ended up going to Scotland, Ireland, and then moved throughout Europe and ended in France, in Paris. And for a few years, Kardec did not want to get involved with it because he was a very serious man. He was an intellectual. He wanted to really get involved with things that required a study, required like intellectuality, not like a joke. So the table turning movement was seen as a joke, as a way to spend your time, because there were no TVs, there was no Netflix. So people in their spare times, they used to go to each other's houses, and they used to spend time together, and also reading. People did not have all these distractions that we have nowadays, like Facebook and other stuff. So Kardec decided to get involved much later, when he realized it was not like a pure joke. There was actually some kind of a mind answering the questions that were asked to the tables. Super interesting. So if you just arrived, welcome. The second part of our study is another 30 minutes, and we study the Gospel according to Spiritism. It's a thick book. A lot of people say it's very difficult, it's complicated to understand. But we do this in a very simple way. We do it in a conversation with two guests. So every week we have different friends, like me and you, just people that like to study, like to read, and like to talk about Spiritism. And today we are going to talk about love your enemies. Yes. So you must be saying, what? It's impossible. First of all, never say never. And never say it is impossible, because everything is possible, especially when we want it. What happened to us most of the times is that we create subterfuges to actually avoid doing some things that are important. So we are going to talk about all of this today. I see already friends here. Hello, fast photo. Oh, first photo, I think is River. Hi, River. So, Karine Rios, hello, Karine. Welcome, welcome here. Roberta, hello, Roberta and Eric. How are you? Nora Brazil, hello, hello, my friend. Matthew Mills, nice to have you all here with us. So, as I always say, if you have your bottle of water or a glass of water, the enlightened spirits will be putting the good vibrations there, and you will be benefiting from it. It will be like your medication, not just for tonight, but throughout the week. So if yours is like mine, already have, put more water when we finish, do a little prayer, and this will be your full bottle of a good vibrational energy. We all need it. So let's do a quick prayer and let's start. God, our Mother and Father, again, thank you so much for bringing us together here another Thursday night. Help us to understand what we will be studying. Inspire all of us, me and our two dear guests, Jacqueline and Claudia, so we will be connected with the higher spirituality, being able to fully understand what we will be studying today, and our friends will be connected, understanding, and making enlightened comments. Please stay with us now and always. So be it. Awesome, my friends. Very good. Let's go. I will share with you. Hello, Claudia. Michelle. My goodness, this is a miracle. Nice to see you here, my New York friend. How is the weather there? Cold today? Was it snowing yesterday? My friends, I will share with you the book. This is the book, What is Spiritism? If you have the book, we are in the portion that Kardec will be talking about why the attacks happen to Spiritism. So before we dive into it, let's just remember what we were studying in last week. So we were actually talking about how Spiritism changed our lives. So when you discover Spiritism, when you start reading and reading the Spirit's book, for example, because there are answers there, they are really like, whoo, there are many answers in the Spirit's book that the questions that I used to ask myself, and I had no idea of the answers. So when I read, I was like mesmerized. I was amazed. And I wanted everybody to read the book. I wanted everybody to understand the benefits of the Spirit's book. But of course, this happens to a lot of people. We get so excited. We want to change the world. But it's exactly what Kardec was telling us, that we should not do it, because we are all different. We are all different, me, you, and everybody else. Each one has a different capability, understanding, and acceptance to many different things, especially about spirituality. So what for me was an instant connection, for other people might not be. For other people, it's totally against whatever they lived, whatever they understand, so they don't even want that. And when we try to force something on someone, when we try to impose, even if we are so happy and we want to share because we think it's good, it might actually do the contrary. It might actually not be good. So that's exactly what Kardec was explaining to us. He was saying, exactly like Jesus said, plant the seed where it's more fertile. Because if you throw seeds everywhere, it might fall in the desert and nothing will germinate from that. So it's basically what he's saying. Answer when someone asks you, something, when someone is curious, when someone is open to understand. That's wonderful. Yes, let's talk about it. But if nobody's asking about it, a person is definitely against it, and you start forcing, it's much, much worse. So this is what we spoke actually 2 weeks ago, because we had 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember. I think, yeah, because we had Thanksgiving. Was Thanksgiving last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't even remember. I messed up here, pandemic mode. Bing, bing, bing. I'm going crazy. Vaccinations, please come faster. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about why people does not like spiritism, and what happened with people, why they think like that, and what we should do when people think like that. So now I'm going to tell you why I love to write in my books, because when you write, whatever you write, it stays there. It stays marked there forever. I marked in my ebook everything I wanted to show to you guys, and it disappeared. Drove me crazy, of course. But I tried to do it again. So let's go. Let's try to understand what I marked again for us to see. So I believe it's large enough for you to read. Please let me know if you can't see it well. But let's go. I will read, and I will stop for comments. So some people will attack spiritism directly with words and deeds, persecute its followers through harassment. Others will secretly and disguisedly try to undermine it. And then Kardec says, do not be afraid. And then our motto is, without charity, there is no salvation. So in this portion here, in this the beginning here that we are seeing, you see, people will attack spiritism by words and deeds, or they will be more discreetly. They will be doing it, but in a disguised way, not really directly. And why people do that? Because of reasons that I already spoke before. A lot of people do not understand it, and a lot of people do not understand and don't want to understand, because that's exactly what Kardec used to say, and that's exactly what this book will be exploring later on. Because in this book, Kardec will be having conversations with people that are absolutely against Spiritism, and with people that are pro-Spiritism, and with a person that does not really know anything about Spiritism, but is like open. So Kardec used to say, for you to be totally against something, you need to have some kind of understanding of it. If you don't understand it, if you didn't read anything, if you didn't research, if you didn't try to discover a little bit, but you immediately are against it, it's because in reality you are afraid of it. You might have heard people saying horrible things about Spiritism, but you really have no idea what Spiritism is about. And you just hear Spiritism, oh no, I'm against it. No, I don't want to even hear about it. But Kardec always say, for you to have such a strong idea, you need to have the minimum understanding to be able to have a debate. Why you don't like, why do you think it's so bad? And then that's when he started exploring through these questions, and people start throwing out answers like, oh, because this kills animals. Yes, I heard that. This is not Kardec, okay? That was me. I heard that. And I'm like, Spiritism kills animals? Oh, yes, you guys kill animals to have favors from spirits. And I'm like, no, 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 you are misunderstanding totally. Spiritism has nothing to do with animals. Yes, there are different philosophies, different, you can call religions. They do this type of things, but this is not Spiritism. We do not believe in black magic that some people call these philosophies of spirituality, if I can say that. I don't even know how to refer well, but spiritism is nothing about it. So this is one example of so many that the people don't really have any understanding what it is about, and they already throw this label, oh, I don't like it because of this or because of that. So Kardec was always saying, for you to be against something, you need to have a base, at least the basic. You have to understand the basic and the built up why you don't like it. And the same thing to the contrary. Oh, I love it. It's the best thing in the world. It's fantastic. And then someone comes to you and say, why? Why do you think it's so good? Oh, because mm, oh, and the person doesn't even know how to say. So you love it, but why do you love it? You don't even understand why you love it. You have to have some kind of understanding. So when we study the Kardec's codification, this gives us this base to be able to have a debate, to have a conversation. I love Spiritism because it's a philosophy of life that makes us to be better, that makes us to understand Jesus' teachings, for example, that tells us that for us to be happy, happiness is not of this world. Happiness is really, like Jesus said, it's from another world. So, and what is happiness? Is money? Is power? Is beauty? No. These are all temporary things. These are all gonna go. These are all gonna go. And when we go to a spiritual realm, that's what we are gonna, whatever we lived, whatever we develop, whatever we created of good or not good, we will take with us to the spiritual realm. And that's what makes us better or not. So if we learn how to be more charitable person, if we learn to be more respectful, to be more forgiving, more understanding, to understand how to love our enemy. So we stay for the second half so you will understand this better. Then we will be improving ourselves, having another perspective of life. And the Spiritism helps us to understand and to develop it. So this is what Kardec is always telling us. So let's go. Let me put like this so you guys can see. Okay, so he says, do not be afraid. Without charity, there is no salvation. So, as we always say in Spiritism, we need to practice charity. A Spiritist center that does not have some type of charitable work, it's in trouble. Yes, because the charity work is the base of the Spiritist philosophy. So whatever center you go, you work, try to bring this idea to them. Most of the Spiritist centers that I know, I guess like 90%, they all have some type of foundation with some charitable work. So the charitable work, it's wonderful in every single sense. It really takes us away from our own personal problems and helps us to see there are other people in this world suffering, going through a very difficult time in life, much worse than us. So you might be thinking, oh, but I have a terrible life. I don't have parents. I am unemployed. I this, I that, I whatever. Yes, we might have been in this situation too before. But whatever you are going through, remember, this is all momentary, momentary. And there are people who are living a worse situation than your momentary one, and they still have in them this love, this feeling, this inner trust that sometimes amazes us. I have been doing a work with homeless for a long time, since 2014. And many times when I encounter homeless people, I give them a simple bag. If you guys know me, I have this project, Loving Bags for the Homeless, since 2014. I started in New York City and in Miami since 2017. Many people that I encountered, they were so grateful. They were living a terrible situation. I remember one lady in New York one day that we were distributing. It was so cold. It was a very cold night. It was not snowing, but had snowed before, so there was water everywhere. She was sitting in a place that had a little bit of a, like a, how do you say, a ceiling, I guess. Uh, and we gave her a bag, and she was so thankful. She had no idea what was inside the bag. She just took the bag. She hugged the bag, and she was like, thank you so much, thank you so much. And she said, can I hug you? And I was with my son. In that time he was still a young child, I think like a 12. And then she hugged us, and then she said, please don't go away, I want to give you something too. And we were like, no, 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 you don't need to give anything to us. And she said, yes, can I sing one song? Can I sing one Christmas song? We were like, yes. And then she sang this beautiful Christmas song with that beautiful voice. We were like amazed. The people that were passing on the streets, they stopped. She had no guitar, she didn't have anything, she was just singing, and it was so beautiful. And when she finished, she was telling us, God is so good, because I'm going through a very difficult time, but I have people like you that just don't even know me, and you gave me a gift. It makes me understand that my situation is momentary. We wanted to cry because she was going through such a difficult time, and she was so positive, and she didn't want to get a gift without giving anything to us back. We were just like, wow. So that thing made us really like was like a highlight of our distribution that day. So this was just like something to show us that you can be in a very difficult situation, but you still can be positive. So even us, if we are going through a lot of difficult times, pandemic time is an example of that. A lot of people depressed, with anxiety, a lot of people that are even talking about committing suicide because of so many different reasons. So it is difficult, but especially us, we are spiritists, or we believe in certain kind of spirituality. I understand a lot of people that watch our channel, they are not spiritists per se, especially my neighbors, but they are curious of what is this thing, and they are spiritual beings. So if you are here, you have an understanding in life after life, meaning you understand that when this physical body dies, the spirit that inhabits this being will leave. We are an eternal spirit, and we will continue living after this body dies. So we have this moral obligation to improve ourselves, to improve our lives before we start pointing fingers to others to improve too. Because a lot of people say, oh, but I did this because he did that, or she did that, or she said this. It doesn't matter what the others are doing wrong. Think about us. Think about me. What? Let's do like St. Augustine. St. Augustine, I already mentioned him many times. every day, at the end of the day, when he lay down on his bed to go to sleep, he used to think, what did I do today? So he used to reflect on his daily activities. And he used to question himself, what could I have done better? So I helped one person. Could I have helped two people? I did this. Could I have done? So he was always thinking what he could improve. So the next day he would apply that. So we should do the same. It would help us to be better tomorrow than whatever we are today, even if just a tiny little bit. So uh, let's continue about the portion of charity. So spiritism enemies try to divide the spiritists by creating divergent theories and arousing distrust and jealousy among them. Do not fall into their trap. Whoever looks for a means to disrupt good harmony cannot have good intentions. I recommend you to use the utmost circumspection when you form your groups. So this we have also to comment, because nowadays, for example, a lot of turmoil is happening everywhere, not just with spiritism, but everywhere. And in spiritism also are coming like new theories, are having disruptions with the base of spiritist federation, for example. A lot of people don't know, but there are lots of issues happening, and this, instead of bringing strength, we start like destroying the base. People start questioning, why is this happening? But we know that this will always happens everywhere. In every single spiritist center, in every single church, for example, temple, the main people, the people that coordinate the studies or coordinate the causes, from time to time they have disagreements, they have issues. It's not like forever a piece of cake. No, I have been a director in the Spiritist Center for 11 years, and I have to tell you, it was not a piece of cake. Yes, we were 5 directors and we have lots of issues, and it was very difficult. But what we always have to think is, what is better for the Spiritist Center? Not for me or for you or for whatever. What is better for the group? So many times I wanted something and I thought that would be the best thing ever. But then 2 other directors did not agree. And because everything was under vote, so whatever idea I had did not work. So they did not accept. And I had to submit and say, okay, what can I do? So it's, if the majority, 3 people, if the majority think it's not good, so it's not good. But if I started fighting, making groups, separate groups that would be with me, and they would make groups with the others, things will start crashing, and soon some kind of breakdown would happen. And there is a funny story, before we go, there is a funny story that the Chico Xavier, the most famous medium ever from Brazil, he is dead now for quite some time, but he, one time, a neighbor, this is a story that he told the people. One time a neighbor met him and told him, Chico, yesterday I heard a lot of confusion in the Spiritist Center. So I'm thinking, wow, the spirits from the mediumistic meeting must be really tough, isn't it? Like some kind of obsessor, whatever. And then Chico said, when was it? And he said, the last night. And then Chico, oh no, my son, last night was the meeting with the directors. And then the person was like, what? the directors? And she could say yes. So when I heard this story, I'm like, what? If Chico Xavier, who was this amazing being, peace and love, total, had the issues with the directors in his spiritism, and imagine us normal beings. But this is for you to understand that there is adversities everywhere. We have the obligation to overcome them. So this is the important part, to overcome all these difficulties. So 9:31, let's bring our friends. So we have here Claudia Garcia.
Hello.
Here, Jacqueline Coca. Hello, girls. How are you?
Hello.
Very good. Let me
Very
see.
nice to be here tonight.
Can put you guys like this. Yes. Hold on one second. Very good. So, because this is, oh, I didn't even change this. We stayed with me, Inner Light will start forever. Anyway, so we have Claudia Garces. Claudia was with her one time before. So Claudia is our friend from Miami. We met Claudia. We met through River, I believe. I don't.
That's right.
I
Well, actually
think
not.
so. No. How did
Claudia
we meet?
Nunes
Oh,
invited
Claudia.
us to sell books.
Oh,
We
yes.
were together.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's where
Yes.
we met.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
then we saw each
Yes.
other later at Caravana
Yes.
Love.
Yes, because we start doing all kinds of other activities, and then but
Sure.
the first time was in the
Conference.
spiritist, yeah, the big conference of Florida. Yes, very good. And Jacqueline, how did we meet? Was through River?
No,
I
no,
always throw River in the middle. I don't know why. River, are you there? Say hello, please.
no. Through conscious living, when we were going to the speeches in North Miami, you were there one day speaking. That's how I met you. I used to
Oh,
go
very
every
good.
Tuesday night.
Very
Now I
good.
just follow the online classes.
Yes, very good. So Jacqueline and Claudia are product from Miami, guys. So I know we have lots of people here from different areas. We even have Matthew from Texas, Nora from Texas, Michelle from New York. Kathy, hello, Kathy. How are you? Kathy Liu, my neighbor from Brooklyn. That's awesome to have you here. So we have people from everywhere, but the two girls of today are local product of Miami. And by the way, Miami weather today is like cold.
Oh, it's
Okay, I
nice.
have long sleeve.
It's nice.
I have the heater on.
I don't have the heater on.
My friends from New York are like, she's totally cuckoo because today was 50 something, and I turn on the heat. I'm like, oh, I'm cold. Yeah, that's what they say. When you become Floridian, you get like, what? What?
It's so hard to get this weather that when we get this, just
Yeah, it is true. It
yeah.
is true. This weather now is really not normal, not normal. So that's an opportunity for us to use long sleeves, leather boots, some kind of jacket to be fashionable. Very good. Let's go. So we are studying the gospel, and today we are starting chapter 12, Love Your Enemies. So just reminding all of you that you are watching us, if you would like me to say hello, I would love to see your names here, but you have to write something, a comment, hello, whatever, and participate with us. So we are here not experts of anything, but just to have a enlightened conversation in a very tough subject. Because love your enemies is very easy to talk, but to apply, it requires a lot. It requires a lot. So I will read just a little bit, and then we can start talking about. So The first title is Render Good for Evil. And then we can go, love your enemies, do good to those that hate you, and pray for those who persecute you and malign you, so that you may be children of your Father who is in heaven, who makes the sun rise on the good and on the evil, and the rain fall on the just and the unjust. For if you love only those who love you, what reward will you receive from it? So this is a beautiful starting, because God is always equal in every sense. So the sun is for everybody, the good and not that good, the water, everything shines to all of us. And if we love just the ones who love us, this is pretty easy. If someone loves me, I will love very easily back. But when someone demonstrates that really have some kind of animosity to you, that's when it's a little bit more difficult. That's when it's complicated. So, what can we start talking about it? How can we start practicing this love? No. Let's first try to define. Let's try to define what is this love for your enemies that Jesus actually described. Can we start talking about it?
Yeah, I can start talking about what I understand. Because
Awesome.
if we want to be good spiritists, we should be mirroring Jesus Christ, right? And Jesus, he came to teach us love. Okay, this is like the main thing that was different when Jesus came. And when we said love, love in any condition, love your thy neighbor, being thy neighbor good to you or bad to you. The main condition was love, no matter what. Okay, and if we go back to the principle of loving, it's very easy to love the people that agree with us or do things that are the way we expect them to do. But in reality, we all have different opinions about things. In reality, we have different perceptions about things. And if we love everyone, we should be curious and love those people that may not agree with us, the people that may not believe in the same things that we believe, because we are using the principle of love, which was what Jesus was teaching us. That's the reason why he came to teach
And
us.
what is this love that Jesus is defining? That's the key. What is this love? Can I love my enemy the same way I love my best friend? That's the key.
Well, according to the gospel, we should love our enemy the way we love our friends. Okay? The difference is, and it's very well described in the gospel, that one thing is to love, the other thing is to trust. Okay? What does it mean to love? It means that I am going to forgive that person that did something against me. Okay? I am going to do I'm not going to wish anything bad for that person. I'm going to try to erase from my heart what that person did to me, but I'm not going to let this person hurt me again. So I'm not going to trust that person. Next time I'm going to ask this person to do something, I'm going to interact with that person. I have to be careful and I have to protect myself too. Okay.
Exactly.
So
That's the point.
that's the point of loving, because the way we humans understand about loving is giving everything. I love you, I trust you, I will give anything for you. Okay. In the principle of love, the pure love that Jesus taught us, loving is loving. You just wanted the good for that person. You don't wish anything bad for that person. But it doesn't mean that you trust that person. It doesn't mean that I'm going to have that same tenderness for that
Yes.
person that I'm going to have for my child that most likely will share the same values that I have, or all the other people that share the same values. I'm gonna love that person because I'm not gonna wish anything bad, because I'm not going to have any revenge against that person, but I will protect myself. Okay,
Yes.
which is the pray, but protect yourself as well.
Mhm.
I have this saying like, I have to have God help me, right?
Mhm.
So you made a mistake once, I forgave you, but the next time I'm not gonna ask you, I'm gonna ask somebody else. Next time I'm gonna tell a secret, I'm not gonna tell you that secret because I know you're gonna share that secret with somebody else. So I'm just gonna protect myself and I'm not gonna wish anything bad to that person.
Exactly. And Claudia, what else do you have? What's your point of view?
Um, well, besides protecting, I think you're protecting yourself, you're protecting the other, but you need to respect, right? I believe that when you you don't have the same feeling for the your neighbor, your brother. Uh, you have, I mean, you, for example, you have two brothers. One is very easy for you, easygoing. The other one is not too much. And, but you have to respect the other person's point of view the same way that you want the person to respect you, right? And you have to construct like a, I know you're not gonna love the two the same way, but at least you try to understand, or you try not to wish bad things about this person. Is sending good vibration to the other. It's so good. It makes you feel like light,
Mhm.
because when you start getting in the same vibration with the other person that you don't like too much, and you know that the person doesn't like you either, it's like there's a tension in the middle. And if you don't try to break this tension, this bad feeling, things are gonna get worse, and you feel bad, and the other one too. So I believe that what Jacqueline said, it's very we have to look to Jesus, and you have to ask yourself what Jesus would do if he would be in my position, or if I would be in his position, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but that's what I think about not having the same feeling to the others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, let me see what our friends are saying here. So we have a comment here from Roberta, and Roberta is saying, "Do you think we really have enemies? I think this word is too strong." So Roberta, nowadays, enemies might be a stronger word, but we do have people that we do not like, people that do not like us, people we can say they are our enemies, and but depending in many different cases, like we have people in our offices, in our work, that sometimes they have a hard time with us, or we have a hard time with them. So in this sense, we can also use this word in quotes, like enemies. They are the people that we do not interact so easily. But if you think about in a situation more difficult, for example, in a litigation, some kind of a disagreement in a company, the two partners dividing, and they are doing not good things, and they suddenly, yeah, they could feel like they are enemies. And unfortunately, this happens a lot with people that used to be best friends, and suddenly they have some kind of disagreement, and now instead of best friends they feel like they are enemies. So yes, this word is difficult, but we have to analyze it in a broader perspective. And one thing
I
that we also understand, from my dog wants to get out of the room. I am forgiving my dog for annoying me like crazy.
But you see, Angie, like
You
all the,
talk. I need to forgive my dog. I'll be back.
I
but in the meantime, I just wanted to say, it's like they, the others that we don't believe that they are in our path to make us grow the same way that we are in their lives, to make them grow as well. So we have to look at enemies as a way to better ourselves. If we stop and we think about them, and we think about the things that we disagree, maybe
Mhm,
the other person is not that wrong. Maybe
mhm.
we have to change. We have to do something to make our
Yes,
lives better. You see,
because we always have a tendency
to
to
think that we
feel
are
we
right.
are perfect. We are
That's
always
right.
right. And
That's why I said that we have to respect, because although we don't agree, maybe the other person also is right in their way.
mhm, yes,
A
exactly.
sense.
Exactly. So the beginning, when we were talking about the love of our best friend and the love of the enemy, so that love that the Jesus is teaching us is really like you both were saying. It's this love is not like come here, I want to hug you, I want to have you with me all the time. It's not like that. But it's the love of not hating the person, not wishing evil to the person, and trying to make amends to see if
Hmm.
things can be better, building this trust that was broken and might not be repairable. So exactly, that's how is this love, and that's how people do not understand, and they have a tendency to say that's impossible. But everything is step by step, little by little. And
yeah,
and as you said, Claudia, yes, we might be wrong, and we are thinking we are right, and we are trying to impose something.
Hmm.
So it is very tough. Let me just see
I
what
want to
oh, we have two quotes here. So Claudia Nunes said, of course, we do have people we were we we do have people where we disagree with, but when you are in a different teams, political views, more enlightened people may think not, but many people see the thing that way. So yes, we have tendencies to see sides, and not exactly that's what is the right point. Wow, we have lots of comments today. I'm actually excited. We have some sober saying we don't need to be friends with them, our enemies, but to love means to forgive, don't wish bad to them, and help them if it's necessary, and always pray for them. Exactly so. This is a perfect summary. Very, very good. We also have a comment of Daniela Stefanelli. Hello, Dani. So she says, sometimes the other person may feel about us the exact way we feel about them. That's why it is important to do what we would like to be done to us. Exactly. This is very true, too. Very true, too. Very good. So, Jaqueline.
yeah, I just want to compliment what Claudia was saying. When we are dealing, with our enemies, she's giving this picture that our enemies sometimes can be our professors or people that teach us to be better people, right? So basically, in loving them is also to feel joy for being able to forgive them, for being able to, in some cases, help them instead of regret, and be wishing them good ways, their good things to their way, to help them whenever possible. And if we need to return goodness for them, or if we were to do something for them, we shouldn't have any intention to humiliate them. We have to always keep these positive intentions, if we want to show love
Mm-hmm.
for our enemy.
It's true.
Yes, yes, and it's like we studied last week. Uh, Last week we were studying about should we risk our own lives to save the life of a criminal, and then the understanding is like how we are going to do that, because if you save the life of that criminal, he might continue practicing crimes to the society or even towards yourself. But then we have the understanding that the spirit of Fenelon brought to us saying, who told you this criminal will continue being a criminal? Because you saved him, it might click on
Mhm.
his mind and make him to change his attitude, change his life, change forever. And then if you can, we should always try to help somebody else. So
Mhm.
this is
We
this
shouldn't
is the
judge.
point.
Who are we to judge someone?
Mm-hmm.
Who are we to judge someone? Don't you see many people going to the streets right now, even with COVID, and they go and they help the drug addicts that are living on the streets. They
Yes.
themselves taking COVID. But these people, they're in that situation for something too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't choose to be criminals. Don't choose to be drugs just by that. There are things
Yes.
that they bring from this incarnation, but there's things that they bring from other incarnations that are not able to face those challenges. And who are we to judge them? So if it is in our nature, not everyone has nature, that nature, it has to come from our heart. If I want to help someone, and if I want to take the risk to help someone who's living under the bridge because he's a criminal and he cannot live anywhere else, he needs to be away from civilization, right? If I choose to do that, I choose it from my heart, and I am risking my life, right? I'm not saying that I'm doing this, but the person that is doing this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is, it depends on the intention, and we shouldn't be judging anyone.
Exactly, exactly. Because that's the exactly same thing I said a few minutes ago. We always think we are better, we are superior, but in reality, we are very similar. We have different mistakes. We commit different errors because, yes, we certain spirits are older and wiser than others, but the majority, we are like, I don't do the mistake A, but I do the mistake B. And then Claudia, for example, she does the A, but she doesn't do the B. So we actually we can help each
That's why
other.
we need each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even that we don't like the other person, we don't like each other, but we need to learn with each other.
Exactly.
And it's not easy. Nothing. It's not easy.
Yes.
Forgive
Yes.
is not easy.
Yes.
We have our pride that we carry this. We don't have
Oh, Claudia, we
And
we lost your audio.
Hello.
Oh, now it's better. Don't
Okay.
move.
You see, we have our pride, and we it's so hard for us
Yes.
to lose it. I mean, to take. You see, and we
That's
want
the
to
point.
we want to fight all the time for what we think it's right, and
Yes.
sometimes we're not the we don't have all the rights,
Yes, yes,
right?
exactly. And we are the ones who have to take the first step of doing a little bit better. Because if we just wait for the other person, it might never happen. So we
And
are
if
the
the
ones
other
who have
person
this understanding that we have to improve ourselves. So we should take the positive step. Yes?
and
and
if
and
we
we if oops
if we are
let Claudia say first, and then you compliment. She was
No, what I was gonna say is that if we try and the other person, if the other person don't try or don't move, if the person doesn't move, it's, I mean, you continue trying because it's, you do your part.
you
You
always
have to
have
do
to
your part.
you always have to do your best.
That's right.
Exactly. So, for example, just to give a very simple, silly example, I'm very outgoing, so I talk even to the trees. So I talk to everybody. But I understand there are people that are not like me. There are people that are not nasty or mean or whatever. They are just shy. They are shy. But a lot of time, people who are shy get misunderstood as they are not friendly or they are not nice or they are not whatever. But of course, there are people that are also just like close to themselves. But anyway, so I have a neighbor here, and this person, we used to pass each other all the time, and this person is always like this. And I used to pass and I like trying to, and the person is like this. And then I'm like, immediately my husband starts not friendly. I don't even want to look. I do the same. And I'm like, no, you're not supposed to do the same. You have to do better because you have to improve. So if the person looks to the floor, start saying good morning. Oh, I already said never look. But I did. I exactly said what you said, Claudia. I said I will try. So I will do it, until it will something will happen. And then I said good morning, good morning, good morning. And one day, good morning. And I was, yay! And then now we actually talk a lot. She has crazy dogs. I have some crazy dogs too, and it's difficult to manage when we are on the street. But we were able to break that initial difficulty, and it's wonderful. But that's exactly the same thing you were saying. We have to try and try and try. And this is a very simple example, but there are things that are much more difficult, and the people gave amazing examples in life, like for example, there is this American woman. I mentioned this, I don't know if it was last week or a few weeks ago, that her son was killed by this man, and she had so much hatred within her, and she spent like more than 10 years hating him. And I don't really remember how many years he was in jail, but he was going to be released in a year. So she decided to visit him in jail to ask why. And from that visit, both of them changed because she understood that unfortunately this happened. This man who killed her 21-year-old was a 16-year-old. He was tried as an adult and he stayed over many years in jail. But then she understood that, it could have been her son doing the same thing in the contrary position. And then she forgave him and she started visiting him while he was still in jail. I know this for the majority of people. This is like crazy. This is crazy. I'm not going to visit the person who killed my son. But this is the ultimate, not ultimate sacrifice, but this is the ultimate love. This is really this love that Jesus tell us, that we should love everyone as our brothers and sisters. We still have that thing, I love my sister, my mom, my this, my that, but the people that are further, I like them. But one day, we will be able to be more embracing. We are gonna expand this love.
And
That's the main
Angie,
thing.
Can you imagine the feeling of this spirit, her son's spirit,
Yes.
after this change of
Yes.
environment? I mean, this all these changes for both. I mean,
Yes.
the feeling must be so good, and the spirit
Exactly.
must be in peace.
In the living
Exactly. Because imagine she lived with hatred for so many
So
years.
long, for so long.
And then when she discovered that forgive, and she actually mentions that, I will search for her interview and I will put on our Facebook page. She actually mentions that the hatred was killing her, and the forgiveness, she says, the forgiveness was not for him, was for me. It's
It's
beautiful when she had this wake up
click.
call, when she's like, she changed. And also it changed the life of the guy, because he took her as an example. He changed totally. He started going to church, and nowadays he gives the speeches in jails, in schools, and they go together. So it's just, and she was a single mom without family, and he became her son. So this story touches me so deeply that every time I talk about, I want to cry, because it's so amazing. That's just like out of this world. We are over time.
Yes, I know.
That's what I was telling Jacqueline today. I said, Jacqueline, when we are having fun, things go so
Goes
quick.
fast.
That is true. And Angie,
Realize.
you offered me if I wanted to do the prayer. I said no, but if you don't mind, I want to do the finishing
Ah,
prayer.
do you want to do it? Very good. I was going to ask Claudia, so please do our
No,
final
if Claudia
prayer.
wants to do, she
No,
can.
go ahead, please.
Okay. So I would like to start our ending prayer by thanking our Mother, Father God for giving us the opportunity to spend this hour together, to be reflecting on the scriptures of the gospel, to be able to understand and interpret the scriptures that came from the words of Jesus Christ, that came here to show us that love is the way, that love is the way to live a much better life. I want to thank everyone that is participating and contributing to this conversation. I want to thank Angie and Claudia for participating in this meeting. And I want to ask God to bless everyone who's here, to bless everyone that are participating in the different movements around the world in terms of peace, the people that are work in the front line helping the people that are sick, and to all of us that we can every single day learn a little bit more about what it is to represent the teachings of God and incorporate that in our life. So be it.
So
So
be
be
it.
it. Very good. Beautiful. Thank you so much. My friends from all over the United States, thank you so much for being here. We are really a globalized community. Thank you so much, Claudia and
Thank
Jacqueline.
you.
It was great.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
will see you all next week, next Thursday, 9 p.m. See you soon. Bye, my friends. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Good night.
Awesome.